Rick Jordan's Wheel of Time, Eye of the Wall, Part 29. As soon as Rand set foot outside the palace, he began to run all the way back to Queen's Blessing, as fast as his feet would carry him. When he was able to catch his breath, Rand asked for Master Gil, who he'd found in the library, playing stars with Loyal. I was beginning to worry where you were, lad. Thought you might have had trouble with some of those wild, flashing traitors, or ran into that beggar or something. I saw him, but that's nothing. I saw the Queen, too, and Elida. That's where the trouble is. The Queen? I don't say. We had Garrett Bryan out in the common room an hour or so ago, arm wrestling with the Lord Captain Commander of the Children. But the Queen? No, that's something. Blood and ashes. Everybody thinks I'm lying today. I climbed up on a wall around the garden when I could see the plaza in front of the palace where they took Clogain in, and I fell off on the inside. I almost believe you aren't making fun. Tavern? I turned around, told them everything in detail, from the moment Elaine dropped from the tree to his final exit from the palace. As he went on, the color drained from Master's jail face. Wow, there's no more waiting for your friends for you. You'll have to leave the city, and fast. 2 days at the most. Can you have Matt on his feet in that time? Or should I send for Mother Group? 2 days? If Elida sets the Queen's guards looking for you, they can search every inn and come in 2 days. And that's if some ill chance doesn't bring them here the first hour. If I can't get Matt off that bed, you send for the Mother Group. I have a little money left. Maybe enough. I take care of the Mother Group. I suppose I can lend you a couple of horses. You try walking to Tavor and you wet through what's left of your boots halfway down. You're a good friend. It seems like we brought you nothing but trouble, but you're still willing to help. Well, Tom's always been a good friend to me. If he's willing to go out of his way for you, I can do a little bit too. I would like to go with you when you leave, Rand. I thought that was subtle, Loyal. You know what waits for Matt and me, what's chasing us. Dark friends? On our side, the light knows what else. Or the dark one. You are going to Tavalon, and there is a very fine groove there, but there is more to see in the words than the grooves. Truly a tavern, Rand. The pattern weaves itself around you. Do you stand at the heart of it? I don't stand at the heart of anything. The girl flinched at the outpost, and even Lyle seemed a bit taken aback. Grant knew they had not deserved his anger. He forced himself to find a void that eluded him so often of late. The calmness. You can come, Lyle. I don't know why you want to. I'd be grateful for the company. You know, you know how Matt is. I know. I still cannot go into the streets without raising them up shouting Trollok to me, but Matt at least only uses words. He has not tried to kill me. Of course not. Not Matt. Master Jill, come quickly, please. There's white cloaks in the common room. Run, tell them I'm coming, and stay out of the way. You hear me, girl? And you, Loyal, you had best stay here. Of course, I have no desire for any more meetings with the children of the light. That science-filled common room has 5. White cloak stood in the middle of the floor, studiously being ignored by the folk and the tables, waiting impatiently for Master Jill. When Jill arrived, he crossed the common room quickly, offering a careful bow to the under-officer. The light illuminate you, and all good Queen Morghese. How may I help? I've no time for you to revel, innkeeper. I've been to 20 inns already today. Each was 60 down to last, and I'll see 20 more before the sun sets. I'm looking for Dagfrance, a boy from the 2 Rivers. But there are no Dagfrance in my establishment. Every man here is a good Queen's man. Yes, and we all know where Morghese stands in her Tower Valon Witch, don't we? Suddenly, every man in the room was on his feet. They stood still as statues, but everyone staring grimly at the white cloaks. The under-officer did not appear to notice, but the 4 behind him looked around uneasily. I will go with you, innkeeper, if you cooperate. The temper of the times goes hard with those shattered Dagfrance. I wouldn't get in with the dragon's fan on the door would get much custom. Might have trouble with fire, too. If you get out of here now. Or I said for the Queen's Guard to cut what's left of you and the maidens. The dragon's fang won't help you 5. 1. You must be mad, innkeeper, threatening the children of the light. White cloaks, I'll not wait in Camlin. 2. Can you really believe this will end here? 3. Oh, we'll be back. Who would have thought I had it in me to be a hero? The light illuminate me. You'll have to stay out of sight until I can get you out of the city. That lot will be back, or else a few spies wearing wet for the day. After that little show I put on, I don't care whether you're here or not, but they are as thought you are. That's crazy. The white cloaks don't have any reason to be after me. I don't know about reasons, lad, but they after you and Matt for certain. What have you been up to? A lad and white clocks? What about you? The white clocks would make trouble for you even if they don't find us. No worries about that, lad. I pity anybody who tries to put a mark on my door. Sir? So there's a lady in the kitchens. She's asking for Master Rand, sir, and Master Matt by name. Lad, if you actually manage to bring the lady Elaine down from the palace to mine, well, I'll end up facing headsman. Off with you go, and keep quiet about what you heard. It's nobody business. In 5 minutes, she'll be telling the other woman that you're a prince in disguise. By nightfall, you'll be out of the city. Master Joe, I never mentioned much to Elaine. It can't be. Wait until you know. I was afraid I'd never see you again. I was afraid you'd know. I knew you were alive. I always knew. Always. I did not. You look well, right? Not overfed by enemies, but well, thanks a lot. Where's Matt? Upstairs. He's not feeling well. Well, I guess you know those people after all. Huh. Those were the friends you were looking for? Yes, friends. Introductions were made and pleasantries were exchanged. Auntie Nynaeve demanded to be taken to Matt, to see to him, and let Emmons fill those upstairs, leaving Moraine and Landmaster Jill. Say, where's the Gleeman hiding? Is he with Matt? Tom's dead. I think he's dead. There was a fade and its fade ran then, and the silent tickled around them until they reached the head of the stairs. Matt's not sick, exactly, you'll see. Matt, look who's here. How do you know who they look like? How do I know you're not look like? Everybody changes, Harry. Is that you, I see? You've changed, haven't you? Oh yes, you've changed. Not sick. A pretty Nynaeve. Wisdom isn't supposed to think of herself as a woman, is she? Not a pretty woman, but you do, don't you? Now, you can't make yourself forget it. Right and see. Everybody changes. And if you grew the insult, as best she could, and began to tend to Matt, she did not hear Moraine reach the top of the stairs. Was I from the dark ones? Eyes for the time being. Get away from me. What? I love you. Stay away from him. Be quiet. Even as Matt pulled the dagger, one of his land in the doorway. A moment later, the warder was at the bedside, as if he had not bothered with the intervening space. His hand catch Matt's wrist, stopping the slash of his dagger caught. Moraine did not flinch. How did he come by this round? I asked if Mordred had given you anything. I asked and I warned you. Did you say he had not? Why, he didn't. Matt took it from the treasure room. I didn't know until after we were separated. I didn't know. You did not know. It is a wonder you got this far, Countess. I felt the evil of it as soon as I lay eyes upon Matt, but the Fade could sense it from a miles. Dark friends could probably feel it too. Oh, there were dark friends more than once, but we got away from them. There are rumors of strange things in the night outside the city. Could be Trollocs. Oh, it's Trollocs. Shepherd, and where there are Trollocs, there are fates. We'll have time to speak of this later. What needs to be seen to now? What's wrong with him? Is it catching? I can still treat him. I don't seem to catch sick, no matter what it is. Oh, it is catching, and your protection will not save you. This is from Shadar Logoth, and I have it that cure that cities in it. But to now, but current the dead dagger beyond the walls of Shadar Logoth, we've read it. This seed of it from what bound it to that place, the evil will have waxed a wide in him, as he was fighting with the contagion of Mashadar sought to make him. But now the battle inside him is almost done. He is almost defeated. So if it does not kill him first, it will spread that evil like a plague, just as one scratch from the blade is enough to infect and destroy. So, in a few minutes with Matt will be just as deadly. Can you do anything? I hope so. For the sake of the world, I hope I'm not late. Let me stay together, stay out of sight, but let me. I will do what I can for him. One did not want to think while Moraine wanted them to stay out of sight, but he kept remembering the white cloaks and the officer saying he would be back and light the size when she asked where he was staying. Those were reason enough, whatever Moraine wanted, and took his friends to the library by the back, way that avoid the common room. Not many travellers used the library to begin with. Most of those who could read stayed at the more elegant inns in the inner city, so it seems like the best choice. That was first step into the room, and before he realized that everyone else had stopped, crowded together in the doorway, pen-mounted and goggling. Those are the friends I was waiting for, Loyal. This is Nynaeve, the wisdom of my village, and Perrin, and this is Egwene. Oh yes, Egwene. Rand has spoken of you as a great deal, yes. I am your Loyal. Is that okay? The act of sitting seemed to loosen some catch inside the Emmonsfield folk. As soon as they were seated, they excitedly began asking a good question, which he was pleased to answer. Loyal looked to talk at Rand. When he had the slightest chance, as Loyal talked, one thoughts drift to mad and endanger, which might kill him just from caring. If Moraine was able to heal Matt, they should all go. Just go somewhere. Not home, but somewhere that no one had ever heard of as I die or the Dark One, and had had enough adventure. And then the door opened, and for a moment, and thought he was still imagining, but stood there looking as though he had never been sick a day. Ah, seems I've been acting so devoutly. I don't remember much of it, really. Everything is hazy after Whitebridge. I don't remember arriving in Camden at all. Not really. Moraine says You can't hold a man to blame for what he does when he's crazy, can you? No, none of us blames you. You always were crazy. Everyone began talking at once, then happy to have the old mad back. But as he said, he absent-mindedly touched his coat as if to make sure something tucked away was still there. His precious ransom and his bread catch. Yes, he still has the dagger. The biting has lasted too long and grown too strong. I cannot take it away without killing him. But he doesn't look sick anymore. I cleansed the taint from him and did what I could to slow it return, but return it will in time. Unless he receives help in Avalon. A good thing that's where we're going, isn't it? Before Moraine could respond, Lawyer interrupted, clearing his throat to attract their attention. I am Loyal, son of Aaron, son of Helen, as I die, the steading of a sanctuary to servants of the light. Thank you, Loyal, son of Aaron, but I would not be too free with that greeting if I were you. There are perhaps 20 Aes Sedai in Camlin at this moment. Everyone but I of the Red Aja. Now, Loyal, you must forgive me for being abrupt. It is a failing of humankind. I know my companions. I have urgent need to plan our journey. If you could excuse us. He's coming with us. I promised him he could. The will wills as the will wills. And see that we are not taken unaware. Lan's disappearance acted like a signal. All talk was cut off and all eyes were on Moraine. We cannot remain long here in the Camlin. Not are we safe here in the Queen's blessing. The Dark One's eyes are already in the city. I have set wards to keep them away, but any word powerful enough to turn a man away would be as good as a beacon for their murderer. And there are children of the light in the Camlin, also looking for Perrin and Egwene. I thought they were looking for Matt and me. What would you think Whitecloaks were looking for you? I heard Whitecloaks say they were looking for someone from the rivers. Dark friends, he said. What else was I supposed to think? For other things that's been happening, I can't think at all. It's been confusing, I know, right? But you can think more clearly than that. The children hate Asedae. Elaida would not. Elaida? What has Elaida Asedae to do with this? Oh, she wanted to throw Rand in prison. What? Oh, all I wanted was a look at the login, but she wouldn't believe I was in the palace gardens with Elias and Gawain just by chance. Queen Morghese let me go. She said there was no proof I meant any harm, and she was going to uphold the law no matter what Elaida suspected. Can you imagine me meeting a queen? She's beautiful, like the queens in stories and songs. Elaine and Gawain. You like Gawain, Perrin? Perrin, what? Blood and ashes. I just climbed up on the wall for a look at the fast dragon. Didn't do anything wrong. Who's Elaine? You really have had some adventures. All we met were tinkers and some white cloaks. Tinkers come to stay in Shanghai sometimes. You humans do, and oh, I just remember something. Asedae, something I have always wanted to ask an Asedae if I ever met one. May I? If you can be brief. Brief? Well, there was a man who came to studying Shanghai a little while back, perhaps 20 years. He was at the point of the thought. There was not a mark on him. The others thought it might be something an Asedae had done, since as soon as he was within the study, he quickly got well. Before he left, he told a curious tale which he said he meant to carry to Tarvalon. He said the Dark One intended to blind the eye of the ward, slay the great serpent, and kill time and Sarah. What I have wanted to ask is, can the Dark One do such thing? Kill time itself? Can he bind the great serpent? What does it mean? Was that the Tinkers told us? That's exactly that. Yes. The Aya story. What story? No, some tin cars. Kristen Doyce found Isle dying after a battle with Trollocs. Before the last Isle died, she told the Tinkers what Lawyer just said. The Dark One, they call him Sideblinder, intends to blind the eye of the world. This was only 3 years ago, not 20. Does it mean something? Perhaps everything. At the time, I wonder whether I heard the name before. The Eye of the World. Now I remember, don't you? I don't want to remember anything. We have to tell her it's important now. We can't keep it a secret any longer. Did you see it? Don't you, Rand? Moraine immediately asked what they were talking about, and the answer came in a flood of stories from Rand Martin Perry, stories of dreams and a man that had appeared in them. Tell me the other word will never sell me. Tell me the same thing. You aren't angry with us. More with myself than you. But I did ask you to tell me if you had strange dreams. In the beginning, I asked. Each time the Dark One touches you, he makes the next touching easier for him. Perhaps my presence can shade you somewhat, but even then. Remember the stories of the Forsaken, binding men to them? Strong men who had fought the Dark One from the start. The stories are true, and none of the Forsaken had a tenth of the strength of their master. What can we do? There are limits to the Dark One's power inside you. Yet for even an instant, you will be his. Deny him, and his power fails. It is not easy, but it can be done. They are Ta'veren. So there are 3 of them when I expected 1. A great many things have happened that I did not expect. This news concerning the Eye of the World changes much. The pattern thus seems to be swirling around the 3 of you, just as Lawyer says, and the swirl will become greater before it becomes less. The web can still be woven in many ways. Some of those will be disastrous for you, for the world. You cannot remain calmly, but Anna road, Trollocs and Myrddraal will be on us before we get 10 miles. Just at this point we hear of a threat of the Eye of the World. Not from one source, but 3. The pattern is forcing our path, but we cannot be allowed to affect our course. We must do what we must, and that is to reach the Eye of the World. Quickly. The Green Man must know of this.